All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to season two, our very first episode of season two of the 3200 podcast, man. I'm Ike. We got mean Uncle Leo in the house. Leo, how does it feel to be back live today?
It feels good. It feels good. Can't wait to get this started.
Also, we got Black Man Jonathan is in the house, man. I think he's actually home, man. He's always moving around there. How you feeling today, Jonathan?
I feel good. I feel good.
Everybody have to. What's going on there? Akbar, Chris, man. What's how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. Ready to get this second season underway. Looking forward to a lot of fun this season.
All right, man. We might have to change the show as we might change the title to we might get canceled. That'll be the new title of the show. We might the season two, man. This season, man. We're gonna get a little bit more personal. We're gonna be a little bit more vulnerable. You're gonna hear more stories from us and our background and everything today, and that's what we got a story about today. And it's gonna be something special, man. Today is about me. Man, let's jump into it, man. Let's jump into it, man. I'll give everybody a little background, man. My daughter just broke up. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. All right. My daughter, she just broke up with her boyfriend of a while. Her boyfriend was white, and he's half white, half Mexican. And of course, my daughter's black. But they just broke up, and he decided to jump on the podcast. And one of the things on the podcast, he says two things. He says that me and my wife were strict. He thought we were too strict. Hey, you know what? I forgot one thing. See, it's been a while. Thank you, Leo, for reminding me. Today, man, we are talking about my daughter boyfriend says I'm racist, and they believe I'm racist. So, you know what? Give us a second, and we'll be right back after the intro song. Leo just reminded me we gotta play the intro song. All right, we'll be right back after this.
Hey, the 3200, you know how we connect. 3200 Magnolia was the address. Beaumont, Texas, had to do it like that. Wanna welcome everybody to the podcast. Plenty stories that we gotta explore. From the views of husbands, fathers, entrepreneurs, baby fathers and workers. I know this though for certain. You gon' laugh, have a good time till your side hurting. 3200, but you already know this. You know it. Couple of brothers hard working and focused. Intellectual, entertaining for show. 32 double O, let's go. 3200, but you already know this. Couple of brothers hard working and focused. Intellectual, entertaining for show. 32 double O, let's go. Hey, yeah, make sure that you turn it up. Get the talking, ain't no topic that we do not discuss. Yeah, everything and nothing at the same time. Good vibes, tune in, cause you know it's going down. 3200.
My apologies, man. We had did a live show in what is it? We had did a live show in what has been, man? It's been a couple months, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
I'm a little
somewhere
bit off.
around.
I'm a little off. My apologies. I apologize, man. We getting back in the rhythm. We're
I
gonna
was
change
missing
this
the theme song, man.
up. That's my fault. Hey, go ahead, man. Before we get started, man, make sure you smash that like, share, subscribe button, man. We appreciate you if you already subscribed. But if you subscribed on Facebook, man, scroll over to YouTube, man, and subscribe on YouTube too, man. Help us out. Help us. Help you. Help us. I really appreciate that, man. Today's topic, man, it says my boyfriend says I'm racist. This show is all about situation I'm in right now, man. A situation I'm in. Like I was saying before the intro music, man, my daughter, she was dating a guy. He's half white, half Mexican, and he went on a podcast. We answer any beef anybody got with us here on the 3200, man, because that's just the Magnolia in us. You know what I mean? That's just the Magnolia in us. So if you got beef with me, now I got beef with you. We're gonna handle it, right? So he was on a podcast, man, and he said that me and he said me and my wife were too strict. We're too strict. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into it. And then he says he believes that race played in on him and her not working out. That because of us and we had a race issue or something. I was trying to still understand it, but we're gonna talk about it, man. I'm gonna tell my side of the story, and we're gonna jump into it. And so my daughter dated a guy for about 4 years. About 4 years. Nice guy. I would put that. He's a nice kid. He's a nice kid. I had other issues with him, nothing big. It's just I wanted more for my daughter, I guess, for me. But she loved him. She liked him. I wasn't like pulling him away and being like, "Hey, you can't date this kid." Definitely wasn't pulling away, like you can't date this kid because the kid white. We know our daughters. We know our kids. I think me and my wife. I think everybody. I mean, fathers out here, yeah. Do y'all like me and Ed? We talked about it before. Like, hey, we lived in Oklahoma. We lived in Temple. We lived in Utah. We lived in other places. Hey, our kids I'm probably gonna date people from other races. Be good with that. Say, hey, there might be a chance. Kid might be gay or whatever. It's like, okay, hey, I'll handle like. Do y'all do that like pre-game speech with y'all wives?
I mean, it's a thought. It's never talked about. I have a while, so it's thoughts in my head.
Me and myself, I really didn't care. I know my wife said they better bring somebody home they can use her comb.
That's what Grandpa used to say.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Me and Em had talked about it before. Hey, how we gonna handle it if our kid dates this? If our kid come out as gay, you know what I mean? Or hey, how you gonna handle it if your kid? And I think we already kind of knew, like, hey, our kids, they like this. They might date other races. That's not a big deal. I might do this. So this is the steps that they come and tell us this. This is steps we take. You know what I mean? There's no hate. And if you know me, like people say I'm not even black enough. So it's like it's like people say I'm not black enough or whatever. So so the kid pretty much said that we were too strict. And for me, and please stop me if I'm talking too much here, but for me, we start with the strict thing and then we get to the racist thing there. For me, my understanding was I wasn't strict. I was just I think he didn't understand our culture altogether. I don't think he understood our culture. I don't think he even tried.
Okay. So I guess we'll jump into some things since I guess he got caught up. Somebody stopped.
Way to start the show. Way to start the show.
I don't know what to say. I think what Isaac was trying to say was some of the. I guess he was starting on the strict side or the racist side.
The strict side. He's pretty much saying.
So I guess and I don't know about you, Chris, but I know us. We went to a couple of schools that was predominantly white and mixed growing up. So you deal with other cultures, and other cultures deal with you, and so you are kind of used to the label as being strict,
Yeah.
I guess. And I think it's also some of the things you gotta teach the black parent gotta teach their kids certain rules and certain things. Hey, you can't be doing this because you're not treated the same as somebody else who might do the same thing or something less. So I don't think that kid understood that. I don't know. What y'all think? Because y'all make
I mean, I'm gonna say right now, he looks like I'm trying my best not to laugh when he brought this up because he looks just like Steve from American Dad. But I think too, back to what you were saying, Leo, with raising your kids, as African Americans, you have a different. You can't do certain things that everybody else does because you may get looked at or your consequences are different. But to me, I think it's all about how you are raised, and how you raise your children as well too. Because of course, I have nieces and nephews, so I don't have children of my own, but I have nieces. With my oldest niece being in 10th grade, and it's funny, like I actually met her boyfriend with her former boyfriend last year at a basketball game, and I can't remember where I know this kid from, but he came up to me because one of my players who played for me when they were in 8th grade, they told me about it. I said, "Hey, go get him." So they got him, brought him to me, and it's like he looked and he was like, "Oh, this her uncle? This her uncle?" And I'm like, "Hey, man, don't get messed up in front of all these people in the gym. Like, you a kid. So I think it's all how you raise these kids. I was like, because I'm more crazier than a daddy. So it's like I felt disrespected in a way or whatever. But I'm glad they broke up. I'm not gonna say the reason why they broke up because she did tell me. I'm just glad my niece has a good head on her shoulders.
I'm glad my niece has a good head on her shoulder too. Okay, we're gonna bring it out there. We're gonna bring it out. I'm finding this very hilarious because out of all y'all, this kid did not like seeing me. I remember quite a few times he would leave because he knew I was coming, and my niece, as a daughter, would be like, "Well," I'd be like, "Well, what, I heard your boyfriend was," and she'd be like, "Well, he left because he heard you was coming." I'm like, I'm the mean one or whatever, and then but you get called the racist. That's what you get for being Mr. Nice Guy. You gonna learn.
I finished last.
Yeah. Nice guys get called racist.
And I admit, my wife, she said you was mean, but I was like, I was trying to, she's like, well, you was mean to me. And I was like, when I first met him, I gave him the tough dead, like, don't mess this up. I mean, I might have been cleaning my gun. I might have been working with my machete, threats and stuff. But that's just protecting my kid. You know what I mean? I might have been a little mean, but that's like the beginning of the relationship, man. And I wish he would have took the opportunity to try to understand the culture and try to understand me or get to know me. But he kind of did me the same way like he did you. Yeah, like he wouldn't come in, he stopped coming in the house, or he wouldn't say hey, or he wouldn't give me no like real conversation. Like he would give me like the fake conversation, like, oh, you made burgers real good. Like, dude, it's just a regular old burger, bro. I just threw some salt and pepper on it. Ain't nothing special about that. You know what I mean? So he give me like fake conversation and stuff, but he would never do stuff. One point I would like to make, because I understood that from the beginning. Like his father, he never had a father in his life. He just been around his mother and his grandmother. Certain things that he did, certain things that I overlooked. I overlooked because I knew he didn't have a dad to teach him this stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like walking my daughter to the door, open the door for my daughter. You know what I mean? Making sure she got in and safe and stuff. Some of that stuff I overlooked because I know he didn't have a father. Nobody taught him. But I would, I would correct him and tell him, but he ain't, like it just got ignored. So.
Well, I mean, what if you was racist? What was I? I mean, off that, I hit him up in the DM. He seen my pistol, so I mean, it is what it is. When it comes to my nieces, like I mean, you just gotta understand is they have too many crazy uncles and cousins. We are a big family. Our family had a lot of kids, everybody.
Yeah. I
So
got a big family on both sides.
exactly. So it's like, you gotta come correct. I'm not gonna give you the old, oh, you should know better. Because if you was raised by women should have taught you better. So they should have taught you how to treat a woman.
But
So you should, to me, he should have been more respectable. If I would have known that, I would have got even more intense with him. But I backed off out of respect for my brother.
I would say you gotta look at the cultural side too.
But I can't say that though, because you know what I'm saying, black women gonna teach their young boys differently than other cultures. Because I don't think they might not value the same stuff that we value. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to say that without really knowing their whole situation. You know what I mean? And it was misunderstandings. Like he said, we were too strict, and it was things like they were trying to do. Like, bro, we don't play that in our family. Like he was trying to get my daughter to spend the night, and this is why they were still in high school. Like, bro, we don't, bro, we don't play that. You know what I mean? Ain't none of that.
Spend the night. You should tell them Uncle Leo for me down the night with us.
It was stuff like that. Like I was like, and I was thinking, because I won't lie, I'm kind of strict, but I don't think we're super strict. We do give our kids more freedom than what we had when we were younger. You know what I mean? But I think it was just a misunderstanding of cultures. Like I don't think he really understood that. Like, hey, nah, they don't play that, or they, we, religious or whatever. You know what I mean? So we don't play that game.
Man.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta look at the cultural side of it too.
If they culture.
I just think it's either you had good parents or parents that really wasn't there. That's all it is. If your parents was there, they ain't let you, it don't matter what color, what creed, you Christian, atheist, whatever. If you had good parents, they wasn't gonna have all that.
Right.
And then you had those parents that just let you do whatever you want to. And to me, that's how I feel like, if you can just ask, oh yeah, come on, come on, man. I wouldn't. Come on. I wasn't asking nobody, mama or daddy, hey, can they come spend the night? Or even asking my parents, can she come spend the night?
I know girls. I mean, like I know with me, like my mama. I think with me growing up, my mama had to meet your parents first. Like my homeboys, before I can even go to their house. Like if she ain't know your parents or whatever, I'm not going. Or I could go, but I'm not spending the night.
I mean, my mama was calling me on prom night. Hey, when you coming home? Where you at? Where you like? Come on, man.
Hey, man. You can blame me for that. My prom messed it up for the rest of y'all. I'll take that one. But I don't know, man. I didn't.
You
turn
said
down.
F coach. What's going on, Mr. Roy? Oh, no, I was saying what's up to Mr. Roy, man. He said what's up in the cut-in.
What's up, Mr. Roy?
Hey there. Mardi Gras.
You ready?
But yeah, I'm like, you got to look at it this way, man. You don't just go busting up in somebody's family and somebody's culture like that. You got to be respectful of their culture. He's Mexican and half Mexican. So he has a Mexican side that I'm sure they have their culture and everything else. You wouldn't just go bust up in there just doing whatever you want.
No,
people got to understand that. They got to be respectful.
His man when his dad wasn't around, so he really didn't get a lot of that culture either.
Hey man, that's why you got Uncle Leo over here teaching them. Because I tell you the truth, I didn't care. When he came to him, I didn't turn down. I talked about his little hands that he had, the little fingers that he had, and when he had looking like Jesus, baby Jesus. That's what I used to call him. because he's got to understand there's going to be people that's going to be worse saying things to him because he is what he is, and my niece is black. You know what I mean? So you got to get used to. You got to have
Yeah.
some kind of tough skin, or either one of the fin, or whatever. But you got to also take care of my niece.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
that's just and that was my main issue with him, man. It wasn't the race or anything else like that. He was a bum. I'm going to throw it out there, man. I'm going to keep it real. The dude was a bum. He wasn't talking about working.
Yeah.
He wasn't working,
I don't think he had no aspirations really to do
Yeah.
anything with his life.
which I call a bum. You don't have no aspirations. You're a bum.
Yeah.
But you want my niece to spend the night. Then what happened?
That was my that was my big issue, and I had the conversation with my daughter, and I had conversations with him. Like, hey, what are you gonna do? What's your plans? But you know what I mean? Just like I was doing, and I even tell, I'll talk on that a little bit. I had conversations with him, and I really that was my biggest concern. I didn't care about his race. I didn't care, you know what I mean? That didn't bother me or whatever. Like we already knew, especially that daughter, we knew that she was gonna date outside race. It didn't bother us at all. Uh, Mine was that because you're getting out of high school, you don't have a plan, you're working little jobs or whatever, and you still got no plan. You didn't have any dreams, he didn't have any aspirations. He didn't even if you'd have told like, hey, I'm like, okay, you want to be a rapper. At least he's trying to be something, he wasn't trying to be anything. And my question I had to ask myself later on is like, hey, well, if he was black, let him got away with that, or would I have been tougher on him? And my answer to myself was, I would have been tougher on him if he was a little young black boy trying to date my daughter than I was with him. I gave him leeway because, you know what I mean, because he was, he was white or whatever. You know what I mean? I wasn't as tough on him because I figured his code is tough on him like we are on our young men. You know what I mean? I guess I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I think we're tough on our young black men. And then when it came to him, I was just like, I don't know how to approach this or tell him like, hey, bro, you got to do something with your life because I expect him to already know that, I guess. So today, man, we're talking about my life, man. My daughter was dating a young man of a different race for about 4 or 5 years, and they broke up, and he felt that me and my wife were too strict, and he felt that race played a role in him and my daughter breaking up. Um, so, question there, Mr. Roy. Let me go to the thing. Faith Love says, I think that he stayed within his boundaries and comfort zone, and I was okay with that. We were always clear to both of them about what was acceptable. So I had an issue with that, with him staying in his boundaries. To me, if I'm going to date somebody of a different culture, different religion, or whatever, I want to take the time to get to know the culture, try to get to know the religion, try to understand and try to fit in. Like I'm gonna eat the food, we gonna get, you know what I mean? I'm gonna talk and ask. So I mean, what do y'all think that like he's staying, he keeping his boundaries and staying in the comfort zone and trying to be cool? What do y'all feel about that?
I'll let one of y'all answer before I throw out mine.
I'm trying to think of an answer.
Well, then I'll just throw out mine.
Oh, go ahead.
You're gonna because of what they are, it's gonna be uncomfortable. And we in the South, it's gonna be uncomfortable. So that comfort zone, what happens when y'all somewhere and somebody's, threatening my niece? You know what I mean? Or you know, where's his comfort zone then? Is he gonna run off? Is my niece the one? Because a lot of times, a lot of things I seen that I didn't like, it was like she was taking care of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know sometimes there's roles, but it was just like, what are you doing? She's the one with the job and in college and further in her life. He's the one at its mama house. So I don't know, man. That was my main thing. Like I said, I didn't turn down with the young dude. This is also a lesson for the young dude. If you love my niece like that, it should have motivated you to do better. But instead, it motivated you to pull up a podcast and then call her dad a racist.
Yeah, I think every person's gonna stay within their boundaries uh, at the beginning, but like Leo said, you're gonna get tried, and this is all that's gonna happen. Just a scenario. I don't know if it's ever happened, but you're gonna go out in the public, and it's gonna be some brothers out there, some young boys, and they gonna see that little dude, and they gonna be like, hey, what you doing with him? So that was always my thing as well. Would you be able to protect, my niece? And yeah, you stand in your boundaries. That's cool, um, in front of us. But what's going on outside of me watching you? Um, that's mainly my thing. And like I don't know, like any other man would do if they are interested in her. Uh, they're willing to grow with her. So she's growing and you just stagnated. So that irritates us. And you know what household we come from, Mike and Leo and Chris. We can't just be still. We got to keep moving. So if he would have kept, been progressing in life, I think they still would be together. And
I think they still would be.
so that's my
Yeah,
take on it.
yeah. That's the same. Yeah, and I got the same point just like y'all. As a father, when I leave my daughter out, man, I want to make sure if I get her, I'm trusting you with my daughter. I want to trust that you're going to protect her. You're going to be able to take care of her. You're going to help provide her needs. You know what I mean? You're going to be working on, you know what I mean? All of that stuff. I gotta feel like you're going to do what I'm doing for her now. And like I said, the kid, I know Leo and them are going hard on him. The kid was a nice kid altogether. He was a nice kid. Uh, uh, but you can't just be nice. I need you to do all this other stuff too. And for me to trust you with my daughter. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta like me. You ain't gotta love me. You ain't gotta like me or whatever. We ain't gotta do that fake. Hey, so I'll call you, call me dad. So I gotta do all of that. I don't need that. I just want to know that when I go to sleep at night, there's some peace within myself that hey, I don't have to worry about this child because she's got a man that loves her and protects her, takes care of her, everything he can. Even if he's not, you know what I mean, even if he's not getting, even if if he's at 7-Eleven, he's working hard as heck at 7-Eleven, getting them baskets and putting them groceries at to help provide. You know what I mean? Or whatever he might be doing. And for me, I wasn't going to butt in the relationship, but for me, I never felt that way with him. That maybe I was too tough on him that way. You know what I mean? What you got,
I
Chris?
mean, I think though, like I don't think you were really too tough on him. I could see, like you said, I could see if he had a job, was at least trying to do something with himself. But I mean, because when I met him, I knew right off the bat. I'm like, yeah, this dude, he's not. He doesn't really have a personality or whatever. I'm like, he doesn't seem like he's trying to do anything with his life. So I'm like, and I said to myself, I said, man, yeah, she definitely can do way better. And I'm like, where did she find this dude at? But I don't know, man. Dude just like you said, he's a nice guy, but I think had he been a little bit more
Yeah,
motivated and at least trying to accomplish something with himself in life, they probably still would have been together.
yeah, yeah.
You
And
know,
I don't want to feel like this is an attack. I don't want to feel like this is an attack on a young man or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just want to, let's talk more into difficulties and what to expect in, we just had the movie come out. I don't know if y'all watched that movie. Uh, what I mean? And kind of the same thing where they were doing mixed relationship. They had a mixed religious and a mixed racial. and the police didn't see eye to eye, but the couple they were together. So I mean, this is 2023, man, and I know we're still in the South. I know we're probably like the South is always 2 decades behind everybody else. But I mean, is there still a thing like mixed relationships, man? Is that a thing here still today?
I know it is up north in Ohio. You know, I mean, we saw it. It was in Cleveland, but I don't think it's as big down here. You may have a few people that's like kind of like a few mixed uh interrelation. I can't say the word right. I'm sorry. A few mixed couples or whatever, but I don't think it's that big.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it's that big anyway. It's our white chocolate brothers are starting to get noticed by the sisters. Which I don't mind, man. Love is love. If you have somebody who's there that's going to protect and take care of you, do that. Um, like I said before, I think my main thing with him was that I just didn't. It just I don't know, man. You want that
yeah,
protection. You
yeah,
want that.
yeah. It
You
had
want
absolutely nothing. It had absolutely nothing to do with. It had absolutely nothing to do with race. The reason I was tough on you, or the reason I was hard on you, or the reason everybody was kind of tough and hard on you, because we wanted to pull something out of you. Even like we military folk. They put us in the dirt, they kick us and everything. All pull something out of us. I think we were like as men, we're like, hey, we bucking around like, bro, what you got? What you got? What you gonna do? Just to challenge him and so he can challenge himself. I don't think he necessarily understood that.
Yeah, and I mean it's something as simple as he could have watched Bad Boys with the scene with Martin and Will with the little dude. He could have watched the 50 Cent movie. What was it? Something of the I can't remember what the name of, but he had all those Samoan guys and all that in the garage. It's just that's what we do. We try to see what you're gonna do in pressure because we're always under pressure. So we need to see if you're gonna buckle down in pressure, how you're gonna respond, how are you gonna react. To me though, I think interracial relationships is still something big as far as like globally. USA not as much, just in certain areas, but globally, yes. If you go to another country, for sure. Uh, go to Japan or something like that, yeah, you go get looked at crazy. Or go Middle East somewhere, yeah. But USA, not as much, except for like you said, in the South, yeah. It's still, yeah. You go to certain parts of the South, yeah, they are gonna look at you funny.
Yeah,
Even in
yeah. I
Kentucky.
think I think you people, I think they brought it out. I mean, what you're starting to see more here, which is kind of a shock, man. But you're starting to see more that interreligious. I don't know if that's how you say it, but the interreligious, where you got two people from different religions dating and getting married, man, which brings on a whole. That's even tougher for families or whatever. And I think religion. My wife, she's a different religion than me. Uh, and I think that kind of bothered him too. I don't think he understood her religion, and I think at times he might have felt scared or something. I don't know. I don't know. he might not have agreed with stuff because they my wife's religion they have strict diet and they have strict things that they go through and they do certain things they do. Uh, I think he didn't. I didn't understand. I think he felt offended by it or he felt I don't weird about it. I don't know.
But this is my thing, like
Not banging on your head.
look, this is my thing is like just ask the question. Just if you feeling uncomfortable, talk to that person about a religion, about their race,
Yeah.
about where they come from. Just talk to see, because it's probably the same way you grew up, or you might have the same thoughts. But if you don't open your mouth, and like Akbar was saying, if you don't have a personality, then you can't you can't
Yeah.
open your mouth and talk.
So
Yeah, ask that mean uncle why he talking about your hands like that. You know?
yeah. So I want to see, because I like to be accountable for myself, bro, and I like to be real. You know what I mean? If I mess up on something, I like to feel like, hey, I can apologize, be a man about it, or whatever. So I mean, y'all kind of seen stuff for what it was or whatever. What could I have done differently in this situation? I guess my wife says I should have been more welcoming and more whatever. You know,
That's your
I
problem.
don't
You
think I
welcome
was
too much.
that.
You welcome too much. That was
I
your
did.
problem.
I was tough at first.
I'm just saying he didn't call me a racist, did
what
did he? He didn't say nothing about me. He didn't post nothing about me on his little podcast and nothing else like that. He went after you. See,
yeah.
he was too welcoming, too inviting.
I mean,
Nice guy.
I think I don't really think it was really too much more you could try to do. Like, I think he should have been more trying to understand the culture and understand how things work as far as us. And maybe if he would have had a better understanding, he could have been like, okay, I get it. You know, it's gonna be tough. This is why they're doing this, or this is why I'm being kind of not treated in a certain way, but they're trying to, these are the expectations. So I think he tried. He just ain't get it.
Yeah, because I got a real good friend, and he was white, and he works overseas, and his wife is Ethiopian. So he went to Ethiopia to meet the family before they got married, and the father did the same. The father tested him on a level that we don't even test in the United States. The father looked at him, grabbed the goat, and just slit the neck. You know, that was going to be what they was going to eat. But he just looked at him and see if he was going to shake, what the dude was going to do. And him and he didn't. And the father-in-law was like, okay, you know what I mean? So you gonna I got tested by my in-laws, their family. I'm sure Jonathan Isaac, y'all got tested. Chris, some of the girls that you done went with that you were serious with, everybody get tested by that family. So that shouldn't be nothing new, and it's not nothing new that he should be surprised about. If you like the sisters, be prepared for this. This is what we do. I think all cultures do that because that's pretty much the whole the Falkers movie. That's pretty much the whole thing. So everybody does it. Every culture do it. This is just something he's got to learn and grow on.
Yeah, I'd say one thing he could probably take from it all too is if you ain't, I mean, just not just him, but anybody like that's probably like liking the sisters of a different culture. I'll say that if you're not prepared to take on what a lot of these young ladies' fathers have done and built and kind of treated them like and raised them like, it ain't for you. Don't even try to date them because it ain't no refund, no 90-day refund with a receipt. You can't bring them back once you're married. You know, once you walk down that aisle, say I do, whatever, take them out that house, they're yours. So that's what I got for them.
Yeah. So I mean, I hear you. Um, I think that's the thing, man. It's just learning the culture. And they started dating in high school, so I think for me it'd be like, yo, like if I'm dating a girl and she's a different culture, I'd be like, hey, look, when you walk in here, my mom's gonna say this, don't touch this. You know what I mean? You give them the briefing, and I don't think they understood that when they started dating. Like, hey, my daddy a little crazy, my uncle's a little crazy, but just do this, you do this. You know what I mean? I don't think they knew to give that kind of brief to set up. But I mean, they did for 4 years. And that was my thing too. They dated for 4 years. Like for me, 4 years dating, like relationship change. Like me and my wife said when we first started dating. You know what I mean? We got closer and closer as we we got we were married longer or whatever, we dated longer or whatever. We got closer and closer and closer. We had, our relationship grew, but I was in there in the fire trying to learn, trying to, learn how to learning his personality, learn how to deal with him, to learn how to deal with the rest of the family and all my in-laws, just getting used to them and just trying to fit in to the family and become a part of the family. So that would be my thing. It's like if you're gonna date anybody, especially if anybody outside your culture, religion, whatever it may be, like be open to learn their culture and be open to learn their culture and be open to share your culture also. You know what I mean? That's important to me.
Yeah, and I think to piggyback off what you were saying, in their learning of each other, that should have been one of the sections that they should have talked about was family, and did a whole little biography. Because me myself, I would talk to girls about my family, but you really wasn't serious unless I took you around Grandma Lou. The parents was nothing, but if I take you to Lou and you made it through that, then you good. Because mama and daddy, they're gonna be all right, but Grandma Lou, she's just gonna be honest. What you doing bringing that big girl? What you doing? she gonna make you feel some type of way. So he's blessed that Grandma Lou wasn't alive.
Oh no, what she would have said too.
Yeah, we just talk about like our brother's always dated outside his race. That's why I said it's race is not even a big issue. Our brother always dated outside his race, and he brought them girls over there, and they all stood. They stood right there in the fire. Grandma would give them the business. She would say all kinds of stuff to her. They'd just be talking her normal self and did not care. and they all left the house like, oh, she was so nice. She was a good lady. You know what I mean? And that's the thing to me is like if you don't understand what you're getting into when you get into a relationship, just don't be doing stuff to be doing it or whatever. If you like somebody, like me and my wife was having this debate earlier, it's like for me, she's like, you want to be comfortable and you're going to be quiet and stuff if you're not comfortable. It's like for me, if I love you this much and I'm gonna stand in this fire and I'm gonna take every little pitchfork, not everything, because I love you and I want to be with you and I want to show you that I want to love you, be with you. Because I'm gonna deal with your crazy family and I'm gonna deal with your crazy bud and deal with everything that comes with it. And that's my thing. It's like if you're jumping into a relationship with anybody, you know what I mean? If you're not willing to stand in the fire and deal with everything that comes with it, man, in the first place.
You doing the Matrix
Oh
over there?
man, I got I mean, man, the phone keeps ringing, so I got so I'm gonna have to jump off here in a minute, but it's all
And then
good.
on the other aspect,
So,
he has
like I said, the kid
that you were just trying to protect your daughter. At the same instance, you just trying to protect.
Yeah. I think we throw out that R word too quick on. It's like when I feel offended, or I don't think things are going my way, and it's the opposite race. I'm just say they're racist. So I think it's because of race. Like if you would just talk to me, and like I said, I had several conversations with my daughter about the situation and just letting them know and confirming and reaffirming her, like, hey, nah, this is cool. He's a nice kid. I worry about this, and I'm concerned about this about him. So y'all should talk about that and figure that out. In my eyes, I didn't step in their relationship. I didn't never tell them like, hey, you can't date this guy because he's not what I want for you. I never said any of that.
You never was. He got a job. You never.
Oh, I was that.
That was just me then. I guess that's me when I pull it to the side. Hey, he working yet? That's me.
Yeah.
It's the mean
yeah,
uncle.
that was me. Like, yeah. I did ask, and but I let her know my concerns with him, and if he had an issue with me or whatever, or he understand something or whatever, I wish he just came to me. Talk to him. I would just tell him straight up, like, hey, this is what it is, But I think the more they dated, the further, instead of getting closer, he stepped further and further and further away. And if I made you uncomfortable, then sometimes you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. In my eyes, that's how I see it. So, but I like to say he was not a complete. I know they've been beating up on him. These uncles been beating up on him. He wasn't a complete butthole or whatever, man. He was a nice kid. He just had other things he needed to work on, or he needed to see.
I
that he
didn't
needed
say
to
he was
work
a
on.
butthole. I just said he
He
was a bum.
said a bunch of bad stuff, man. You was attacking this kid, but I want to be a man.
I
And then
treated
he come at me
right
that,
now. I'm
you
being the
live
same way. I was I not being that way when he was around? Tell the truth.
Yeah, man. Look, if you're watching, if you go to San Antonio, go to 2135 Elmer Street in San Antonio. You can find Leo.
Hey, you can come anytime, homie. Anytime.
I always said, man.
Anytime. You don't want these problems.
I always said, if you a bum, you a bum. You a bum. He just, you gotta work.
For sure. And that's true. And it's just like Jonathan said. If you a bum, you a bum. It was, that's sweet. And that's the problem right there. Y'all was cool. It ain't cool. It's love and war up down. That's what it is. Love is a battlefield, like the song. For real though, I came that way because I wanted more for my niece. And when one of my sons was going with a young lady that was pretty much the same type, he caught it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. And you can let somebody know, hey, this is for the aspirations, but I know a couple of other people can tell you is like that motivated me to want to do. You know what I mean? And like you said, if the dude was, I'm an aspiring rapper, and if I'm not right here with your daughter, I'm at the studio making songs and stuff like that. He's out there hustling. You know what I mean? There's less of a because he's out there trying to do it and trying to make it work. But this dude wasn't even doing that. So that was my issue with him. And I let him know what my issue with him.
Yeah. And that's what it was, man. I think I was just being, no excuses for me, you know what I mean? If I did something wrong, and I'm going to have the conversation again with my daughter, but if I was doing something wrong, I apologize. Sometimes I might have overstepped my boundaries, but everything was, like you say, protect my daughter and to make sure she was okay.
And
I think
I'm speaking for my daughter right now. I'm speaking for my daughter right now. I never apologize to another dinner.
Hey, you might as well play the little song. It's too late to apologize because I ain't doing it.
The only person I will apologize to my daughter, I'll never apologize to another man because you got to come correct. Okay? I showed I'm like Mr. Like he was saying earlier, Mr. Roy, I showed my daughter what a man should do for you. And that's how I am. And you are the same way. So you showed your daughter. He ain't amount up to what you showed her. And that's all it really happened. That's all it really was. I don't think it was anything that you or Ebony did. It's just eventually your daughter saw it wasn't going anywhere. It was patient.
And he kind of blamed us, but I'm like, bro, she didn't break up. I didn't tell her to break up with you, and my wife didn't tell her to break up with you. Now my other daughter, told her she should have broke up with her a long time ago. But so the whole breakup had nothing to do with us, about your raise, or about none of that. None of that had absolutely nothing. We had no, like, if it was up to us, if it was up to me or my wife, y'all would have probably been broke up. You know what I mean? It wasn't our choice, and we allowed our daughter to grow, learn, and figure stuff out. And she made that choice herself without us interfering or jumping in it at all. You know what I mean? That was all here. So I mean, I think it's just a culture clash. I don't think he's willing to take them steps. And if he'd have showed me some stuff about his coach, I would have sat down with him. But it is what it is. So tonight, man, what you? My bad.
Nah, what I was gonna say
So
is,
anything
you know,
else on it,
Nah,
man?
what I was gonna say is,
what I was gonna say, it the only reason I don't give Ben uh, any slack is because if you look at our father, our dad, he ain't have no daddy, but he raised 6 children, took care of his wife and 6 kids. But what did he say? He watched other men in the neighborhood. They showed him how to do this, showed him how to do that. Even if you watch Carl Winslow and Uncle Phil, you know what I'm saying? Their father figures to a lot of people. So,
Yeah.
guys,
But I can't speak for him. I don't know how he grew up. I don't know what's around him, what men he was able to see. So that's why I
well,
said
what
I didn't even want to jump into that, because I'm not making an excuse not making an excuse, but it's like, hey, I didn't grow up the way you grew up. I don't know what you're going through, so I can't really say that you should have did this, you that, when you weren't given the same opportunities I had or a lot of other people had. You know what I'm saying?
well, I'm just shooting it to all the young men of this generation, period. Him and all these other guys. Get up, man. Stop being lazy. I mean, these women are excelling over you guys because they're more driven, more motivated. So you got to wake up, smell the coffee, and get to work, man. And if they had good fathers or father figures, grandfathers, uncles, whatever, eventually you're gonna be exposed. And that's all he was. He was exposed. So, young men, put your boots on, get ready, get up, get to work, do something, you know. And your relationships will go longer, if you're motivated and you're moving and you're doing something. You're bringing something to the table. You're not bringing nothing to the table. I mean, you're gonna be at the table by yourself if you got a table.
Last words, Leo. That's just the last words. What you got, Leo?
It's um, to reiterate what Jonathan said. Um, Outkast said it the best, or was it Goody Mob? I can't remember whose CD it was on, but the song "Get Up, Get Out, Get Something." That's pretty much what it is. Pretty much what it is. Um, and that's what it was in this situation. You leave a file. You gotta see what type of taste you leaving in people's mouths. When you come around new people and new things and stuff like that, you leaving a foul taste in the mouth, and that's all it was. You know what I mean? And then you didn't make it no better by blaming somebody else for your actions. Well, if their parents, nah. There's plenty of people who parents didn't agree with that person, and they went off and got married and had a wonderful relationship and grew together and everything else like that. So you can't blame it on the parents. You got to look at yourself. Whenever you have an issue, you look at self first before you look at something else, and you make sure and you evaluate and be true to yourself. Look at the man in the mirror. That mirror. But and that's my last words. If the little dude watching the show, look at the man in the mirror evaluate yourself and motivate yourself to do better, dude. It'll help you out through life. Even if you and my niece doesn't get back together or anything else like that, man. I'm giving you words of wisdom. Look at yourself, evaluate yourself, get up and do better. Go ahead, Chris.
Man, I just said a lot, but I just say, I mean, just for him and just anybody in general, whether young, middle age, or old, you got to hold yourself accountable. You know, at some point in time, you can't blame, oh, I made this mistake because her daddy didn't like me. Hold yourself accountable and take responsibility for your actions as well. Because at the end of the day, you get in a relationship with somebody, y'all gonna have arguments. You can't go, oh, I did this because you caused me to do this, when you made that decision yourself. So I just say, man, be more accountable for yourself first. So that's my closing words. And one last thing, before you close us out, Spectrum, Verizon Wireless, internet services. If y'all be willing to, man, we are all struggling with this internet over here. Please sponsor us. It'll be a great
Also, I forgot to mention
Yeah, I
one
don't know
thing.
what's-
I forgot to mention one thing. It's the weekend. Happy birthday, baby, this weekend.
Yeah, happy birthday, baby. You know what you get. That box with that hole in it. Hey, man, happy birthday. Happy birthday also to my son, Kel, man. Today, Kel birthday, man. Happy 15th birthday. Enjoying it. Didn't get everything he wanted, but he got a lot of good stuff, man. So big
Kill
happy
one
birthday
time.
to my young
One
man. You know, him and Bug might go for a joyride tonight.
yeah, I got one more year before he's taking to tear my cars up here. So let's go. Hey man, look, once again, man, we appreciate everybody who jumped in. Like I said, it was a little bit different show, man. It's our first time back. We're a little rusty, you can tell, man. We're a little rusty, man. We're gonna get back in the groove of things. Like I said, we're trying to make season 2 better than season 1, but also be a little bit more honorable. We got a lot of great topics this year, man. We're going to be talking about relationships, being a father, being a husband. We're going to get into it, man. And it might not be the trending stuff every week, but you know, it's us, man. It's us. So take it, you know, love it or not. It's us. Appreciate you all watching. Make sure you hit that there and subscribe button, and we'll see you next week right here on the 3200.
3200, but you already know this. Couple of brothers hard working and focused. Let's go. Intellectual, entertaining for show. 3200